hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some frickin' money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Good morning, everyone. Jo here with SportsGrid. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Over here on SportsGrid TV on X, we've got an absolutely loaded day out there on the slate. Sorry, we're a couple of minutes late kicking off here, but there's just so many games, and then, traffic. He needed to go outside, so that is what is happening. Freaking Capitals, I know. Let's make some money today, you guys. The Kings did not disappoint, able to get that win. It was a good game for them. Nice to see you here, Blue. Let's make some freaking money. You guys are right. So we're going to jump right into it. Love seeing all of you guys jumping in to the chat right now. Make sure you drop who you are liking today. I'm glad, Rob, that you hit that 4-leg parlay. That is awesome to hear that you jumped in on that. Good morning, everyone. So let's go. Let's get these games today. Yeah, if you're looking for my wildcard bets, head on over to the Madden Quickie over on the SportsGrid app. So we're going to jump into the first game here. We're going to look at the Boston Bruins taking on the Florida Panthers. Now, the Florida Panthers are the favorite at home. Minus 188 sitting here on the money line on FanDuel. Plus 155 here for the Boston Bruins. Seems sort of tempting, right, for the Boston Bruins team to get them at plus 155. This team's been inconsistent, though, as of late. We got a total of 5.5. The 5.5 is juiced to the over at minus 115. It's minus 105 to the under. Looking at these two teams, we do see a Boston Bruins team that has lost their last 7 when coming in as a dog. So it's a really hard spot to trust them here, especially with Swayman. You guys know I just don't have that faith in Swayman. And I do think the Florida Panthers come out nice and strong in this one. This is a team that has been able to get those goals on the board, scoring 3 or more goals in 5 of their last 10 games. And we look at Boston, they've been struggling to get those goals. So I do think Florida comes out nice and strong in this. The last time these teams matched up, it was back in October. Tight game there. We saw the Florida Panthers win that 4-3. We've also seen the Bruins struggle versus Florida, losing 6 of the last 7, and they failed to cover the last 5. On the puck line versus the Atlantic. So this is going to be a hard matchup here for Boston. Now, they have seen between these two stronger trends to the road team being able to win 5 of the last 6. But I'm not buying into it today. I do think this is a great chance for Florida to have a nice win. They're at the Flyers on Monday and the Devils on Tuesday. They're off that win versus Utah on the road on Wednesday. So they're back home from a one-off road trip. Actually, I think they had 2 games on the road, but this is a team with Bobrovsky in goal that I do trust more. Now, we're going to try to see if there's a team total right now for the Florida Panthers because FanDuel has been funny this morning. They've been updating some lines and locking me out a lot of this. Yeah, we do have a team total. 3.5 is coming in for the Florida Panthers to the over plus 114. Can they get 4 goals on Swayman? They absolutely can. So I will take the over 3.5 goals at plus 114 here for the Florida Panthers. I really do think they should have a strong game in this one. You look at that last game versus Utah, and they were able to put up a couple of goals. And we look at Boston, we look at their defense. I just don't trust this defense here. So I'm going to look at Florida. I'm going to look at their team total. Now, if you just want to look at the puck line for the Florida Panthers, laying 1.5 coming in at plus 136. If you think Swayman can contain them in this one, and that Florida wins more in a 3-1 style game. So I do think we can get over the 3.5, but it's right on the cusp of that number. We're seeing Boston. They've struggled. They allowed 4 goals in their last game out to the Tampa Bay Lightning. That was a 4-1 loss today. Montreal is absolutely playing hot right now. Unbelievable what they're able to do. We're going to see Montreal on a second night of a back-to-back tonight. So I definitely want to see them come out nice and strong. And yeah, I would wear a Habs jersey. Cole Caulfield is an absolute beast out there on the ice. So I definitely love a Cole Caulfield jersey. I'm not opposed to wearing other teams' jerseys because I really do. I root for these players, even though I'm a Calgary fan, but you won't catch me dead in an Edmonton Oilers jersey. That's just the one team you'll never see me in. Okay, let's look at the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators are taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, current lines on this, Ottawa is rolling in as a favorite. They're coming in at -122. We have the Penguins at home at +102. Total of 6.5. Now, the 6.5 juiced to the under at -138. We know these fans have been struggling to score, and I just want to check goaltending here. Because goaltending, we're expected to have a backup goaltender in for the Ottawa Senators, which is going to make a huge difference because we know the Pittsburgh Penguins can come out strong, especially in that first period. This is the team that versus the Oilers in that last game, that first period, they just absolutely blew Skinner up. We did get Edmonton scoring, so we were able to get both teams to score in the over 1.5 in the first period. And yeah, backup goaltender still expected here for the Ottawa Senators. I do think the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first period on that puck line is the way to go. Again, I don't have odds for you because FanDuel has just killed me this morning with me trying to find these bets. So it is open now. The puck line here for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first period, because they're the dog, you got to do the alt puck line because otherwise they're giving you +1.5, -1, or plus a half a goal at -122. You guys know we're not going to do that. I would look for the money line here for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first period at -104, but then do the alt. If your book, FanDuel does not allow you to do the alt puck line in the first period, but they do on other books. So the alt puck line laying a half a goal should give you right around like +180 here for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first period. And I do like that. Now, I do think we could have a 2-1 first period as well. So the both teams to score in the first period is coming in. I'm just trying to find it here for you guys. First period. Just give me 1 second. They're not, oh, there it is. Both teams to score at +174. I like the both teams to score as well at +174. So if you like that, you're going to like the over 1.5. The over 1.5 is going to be juiced. It's -124. I'd rather just take both teams to score. But if you want to take the over 1.5, because I can see the Penguins winning this 2-1, 2-0 in that first period. So a little bit less risky taking the over 1.5, but the Ottawa Senators should be able to hit Tristan Jarry. We know Jarry has had those issues, and we know defense has been a struggle. Now, I think Sidney Crosby does get on the board today here for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I would be looking at that as well. The Senators have struggled in Pittsburgh. They've gone 5-22 in the last 27 meetings here in Pittsburgh. Strong trends to the under between these two, 4-1-1 in the last 6 games to that under. With this total hovering right on that 6.5 at -138 to the under, I'm nervous about it. I would take the Senators team total to the under before I took the Pittsburgh Penguins team total to the under, because we saw what the Penguins were able to do versus Edmonton in that game. They're able to put up 5 goals. So I would probably look at the Senators team total to the under. It's the first night of back-to-back here for the Senators. They've lost their last 4. They got shut out versus the Sabres. So another strong reason for both teams to score in the first period, because we know a team off a shutout comes out just on absolute fire in the first period of their next game. So the Sabres shut them out. Mo, let's get some freaking money tonight. That is for sure. First goal in the Dallas game, Caulfield. Yeah, Caulfield has been fantastic out there. Let's look at the Seattle Seahawks. Not the Seattle Seahawks, the Seattle Kraken. Seattle Seahawks, we're not going to talk for quite a while, you guys, with them now out of the playoffs. But the Seattle Kraken are alive in hockey. We're still far off from the playoffs here. The Kraken coming in at +116. The Buffalo Sabres at -140. Total 5.5 in this, -134 to the over. +110 to the over between these two teams. I'm looking at the trends between these, and we have seen these teams really trend to that over at a 5.5. I think it's a little light. I know the Seattle Kraken have been struggling to score, but the Buffalo Sabres are a team that go hot and cold. They've been strong in that first period. They've won their last 4 first periods as a favorite, and I think they can come out nice and strong on their home ice here. Now, the Seattle Kraken have been strong versus the Buffalo Sabres. They've actually won 5 of the last 6 meetings, and the road team has had that ice advantage. So the road team winning 4 of the last 5. I think with the price we're getting for the Seattle Kraken, I don't want to jump as of yet. This will be a live betting situation. +116 isn't enough for me to jump on the Kraken, who have been inconsistent. What I want to see is Buffalo to go up first. And I think Buffalo can go up in that first period. We've seen strong trends to the first period. If you want to back them in the first period straight up on that money line, I would do so. And I would look at the puck line, laying a half a goal on that puck line. You're getting great plus money for the Buffalo Sabres. And then look for the Seattle Kraken and Jared McCann to fight their way back in this game. And at that point, I would look at taking Seattle with that plus money because of how they played in Buffalo, because of how they played versus Buffalo. I think even if they go down 1-0 and we come back in on them at plus 150, plus 175, this team has every ability to come back and get the win. So Jared McCann has been playing strong. I expect Seattle to put up a fight. Now, on the other side, I do think Tage Thompson will come out nice and strong, Alex Tuck. So I think this game does go over the total of 5.5. I would take it to the over. You're just going to have to lay juice at minus 134. I don't think I'd take both teams to score, though, in the first period. I think Seattle comes alive in that second period of this game. So that is where I'm going to go with that one, you guys. We're going to look at the next game here. The Dallas Stars taking on the Montreal Canadiens, taking Cole Caulfield for the first goal like you guys threw out. Definitely a strong way to go. You look at Montreal, they're on the second night of a back-to-back. They're off the win. Last night, they won their last 3 overtime win. So impressive what they were able to do versus the Washington Capitals last night, 3-2 win. I really expected a bit more out of the Capitals. You guys know I was writing their team total to the over. Montreal has just been so scrappy out there on the ice. So they were in Washington. They've had to come back home to Montreal here to face the Dallas Stars. Now, the Dallas Stars have been rolling freaking hot, you guys. They've won their last 6 games. They got a Thursday win 4-1 over the Flyers. Their 2 of their last 3 games, so the 2 games prior, have gone to overtime. So you're going to start seeing tired legs here. First night of a back-to-back for them. The Senators on deck tomorrow and the Leafs on deck on Tuesday. And then Montreal, they'll face back at home on Thursday. So pretty hard schedule for the Dallas Stars. They're sitting 3rd in the Central, though. This is a strong team out there on the road. Positive road record, 10-8. But you look here at the Montreal Canadiens, you look at their home record, it's nothing to shy away from. They've gone 11-7-2 at home, sitting 5th in the Atlantic. This team is surprising me out there. They are at Utah on Tuesday and then back at the Stars on Thursday. So they definitely have the easier schedule between now and the next matchup on Thursday between these two. You look at Dallas, they've got to play 2 games in between, and Montreal will only have to play that one. Now, you look at the Stars, they've gone 3-7 on the puck line in their last 10 road games. They haven't been strong on that puck line, haven't been blowing anyone out. And then you look at Montreal, they've won their last 6 games as an underdog, you guys. They've also gone 7-3 on the puck line as a dog in their last 10 games. Give me Montreal on the puck line. The problem here is you're not getting as much value as I would like to get. So current lines on FanDuel, let me just find it here. Montreal plus 1.5 is minus 142. Okay, it's ticked down a little bit. It was minus 146 earlier in the morning, minus 142. It's within range that I'm willing to bet it. I'm just hoping that we can see Dallas go up first. Now, if Dallas goes up first, we should be able to come back in on Montreal plus 1.5 on the puck line at, plus 100, plus 110. And that's a range I want to bet it. But this team does have the ability to pull off the upset. Instead of taking the plus 1.5 right now on that puck line, I will take Montreal at plus 184 and hope at some point I can come back in on Montreal plus 1.5, plus 2.5. So I'll put a half unit right now on that money line. Yes, if Montreal were getting better value, we will get better value in the future on that money line as well. But I want to be locked in with something with Montreal right now in case they go up. Because if Montreal goes up in that first period, you could see the Dallas Stars completely lose this game. They have been rolling so hot that, you look at them here, they played Montreal strong, but this Montreal team is really shocking people. And they've been strong on that second night of a back-to-back. They've been able to get those wins on the second night of a back-to-back. So I won't be shocked if Montreal comes out and wins that first period and then holds on to this lead. So I'll take Montreal money line for half a unit going into this. If Dallas goes up, I'll come back in on Montreal plus 1.5 or plus 2.5, whichever I'm getting there on that puck line, and then call it a day. So there has been road ice advantage. The Stars have been able to win these battles. So is this the game that we finally see Montreal come back down to earth. I just don't want to step in front of them right now, you guys, especially against the Dallas Stars team that has been just rolling so hot first night of a back-to-back. I'm just not getting there. Happy Saturday, Kev, to you as well. Cole Caulfield, first goal in the Dallas game, $15 to get you 200. Hell yeah. Sign me up, Groovy Caps. I love absolutely where you are going. We won't get a good value on that puck line. If they do, that is a good reason to jump on that money line as well right now. Let me know if you guys are going to take Cole Caulfield for that first goal. I definitely love it. He's just being absolutely incredible. Even on the kill, he's able to score. So definitely a good way to go. Jeff, thank you so much. Let's make some freaking money, you guys. The Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the New Jersey Devils is the next game on deck. Now, Andrei Vasilevskiy expected here for the Tampa Bay Lightning and Jacob Markstrom for the New Jersey Devils. One thing to look at here is Tampa's played New Jersey very strong, and they've been strong as an underdog versus a Metro. This team coming in third in the Atlantic, 9-9-1 out there on the road, and the New Jersey Devils are sitting third in the Metro. 12-6-3 at home. You guys know I love the Devils and I love what they bring to the table. Jacob Markstrom, I think, is a fantastic goalie, but when we look at him versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, those numbers just are not there. In his last 10 career games versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, he's gone 3-4-2 with a 3.06 goals against average and an 889 save percentage. I just can't get behind the Devils with him in net tonight. Now, Andrei Vasilevskiy, on the other hand, versus the Devils, has been outstanding in his career, going 9-5 in 14 games, goals against average of 2.66, and a save percentage of 910. So Andrei Vasilevskiy is where I want to put my faith. The Tampa Bay Lightning also have been playing strong. They've won their last two. They got that Thursday win at home versus the Boston Bruins, limiting the Boston Bruins, holding them to one goal, putting up for themselves. This is a first game here with the 3-game road trip and the first night of a back-to-back. So not an optimal situation, but they need this win. They've got the Pens on deck tomorrow, another Metro opponent. Easier of the two Metro opponents, with the Pittsburgh Penguins being fifth in the Metro. But I do think with the Bruins on deck, we could see that being a loss and then them stepping up again versus the Bruins on Tuesday. So interesting game here. They won the last matchup, shutting out the New Jersey Devils back in November 4-0. So you know the Devils are looking for revenge in this one. I just don't see them being able to get it with Jacob Markstrom. The Tampa Bay Lightning also in New Jersey has won the last 5 meetings. Give me the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, current odds on this one. Let's make sure we're not losing a value on this line, you guys. Current odds on the New Jersey New Jersey, it's -142, +118 here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. You guys are getting a better number than I got earlier. I had +100 for the Tampa Bay Lightning when I put in my bet this morning. Total of 6.5, +112 to the over. The only thing I'd be looking at to the over would be the Tampa Bay Lightning's team total to that over. Again, I love Jacob Markstrom, but I don't like him versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. He is a stay off for me. You could look at the New Jersey Devils team total under 3.5. The problem with the under 3.5, because I think Vasilevskiy will hold them to 2 goals, 3 goals at most, is -146. So not a bettable market there for me. The Tampa Bay Lightning's team total over 2.5 is -140. It is too bad that they won't. Actually, they will. They'll let us parlay the New Jersey Devils team total under 3.5 and the Tampa Bay Lightning's team total over 2.5. That's coming in at +171. And I do think that cashes for us. So different ways that you can play around with that. If you want to look at both teams to score in the first period, because the Devils are off that loss in overtime to the Rangers, they should be able to come out strong in that first period. I would expect a quick goal on Andrei Vasilevskiy before he locks down, so both teams to score in the first period. You're getting great plus money on that. Now, we have seen strong trends to that over. I really do think 4-2 style game here for Tampa. So with that 4-2, if we get an extra goal, 4-3, yeah, I still think under 3.5 for the Devils cashes and the over 2.5 cashes for the Tampa Bay Lightning. It'll be an interesting one. Give me the plus money on Tampa. Okay, we got the Ducks next. The Anaheim Ducks are facing the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, the Ducks could be quacking today at plus 176 here. On that money line, the Flyers at minus 215. Who is betting a Flyers team laying that much juice? Minus 1.5 on the Flyers. I won't touch either. It's coming in at plus 118, though. Total of 5.5, minus 132 to the under. Now, Dostal will be in net for the Anaheim Ducks, and he absolutely needs a freaking bounce back, you guys. That last game versus the St. Louis Blues, he got yanked. Now, the Blues are showing us that they can get goaltenders yanked with the last 2 games that they have played the opponent, like the Ducks, having to pull their goaltender because the Blues have been getting off just hot starts, hitting these goaltenders early, and that's what we saw on Dostal. So Dostal got yanked in that game. And we did see the Anaheim Ducks lose a 6-2, and that was on Thursday. So they've lost 2 in a row now. Now they're taking on a Flyers team that's lost their last 4, and the books want us to pay minus 200 and change here for the Flyers to get the win. There's no way I'm going to bite on that. They have the Panthers on deck on Monday and the Columbus Blue Jackets on Tuesday to start a 3-game road trip here for the Flyers. Now, the Flyers did beat the Ducks back in December. It was just after Christmas, you guys. It was a puck line win, though. They were able to cover that puck line, winning at 3-1, and they won their last 5 as a favorite here. I am hoping, in a way, the Flyers go up so we can come in back in on the Ducks and get more value, plus the 1.5 on the puck line. I do think it's worth a shot here, straight up on the money line for the Anaheim Ducks. First night of a back-to-back. Okay, when you look at a team like the Ducks, it doesn't matter who they're playing tomorrow, right? The Anaheim Ducks face every single team that they're playing as if they need that win. They don't get in those look-ahead situations like we saw with Colorado and playing the Chicago Blackhawks. They just don't. They need every single win they have. They're sitting 8-3 on the road this season, 6th in the Pacific. So they can't look past the Flyers because they have the Carolina Hurricanes on deck. It just won't happen. They're going to put their best effort. They're going to try to win this game because they know tomorrow's game is even harder. When we look at their schedule as well, hard schedule, you guys. So the Canes tomorrow, then the Capitals on Tuesday, the Lightning on Thursday, the Panthers on Saturday, and then they are back home on Tuesday. So it's going to be hard for them out here. This is their easiest opponent. If we want to call the Flyers easy, they are. They're the easier of all of those because they have lost their last 4. And they're sitting 8th in the Metro, 8-1-1 at home this season. So, 8-11-1 at home. I was like 8-1-1. There is no way this team is 8-1-1. 8-11-1 at home this season. So the Ducks could be quacking. If you look at Cutter Gauthier, he definitely will want to come out strong versus the team that drafted him in the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm going to look at him for the anytime goal. Just let me see here for the Ducks what value he's coming in at. I'm so glad FanDuel has decided to unlock all of these props now. He's coming in at plus 480 for Cutter Gauthier out here for the Anaheim Ducks. I do think at plus 480, definitely worth a shot against his former team. You got to love those revenge angles of players against teams that did draft them out there. Now, we have seen success for the Ducks too in Philadelphia, something to know. They've gone 9-3 in the last 12 meetings in Philadelphia. So they've been able to get those wins. And when we look at the last, handful of games overall, yes, Philadelphia has held the upper hand, but it's because they played most of these games at home. So I do think it's a great way to look here on the Ducks in what should be one of their easier games to come out strong. Happy a Saturday to you too, Mark. Yeah, Pittsburgh, it would be nice to see the Pens get the win today. Let's look at the Columbus Blue Jackets. They're taking on the St. Louis Blues. Now, Elvis expected here for Columbus and Bennington expected for the Blues. I'm just trying to find current odds because I was on a different page. So Columbus is coming in at plus 146, minus 176 here for the Blues. Again, the Blues team is being just fantastic at getting those goals on the board, getting goaltenders yanked. So can they get Elvis yanked? They have every ability to get Elvis pulled out of this game. Total of 6.5 at minus 130. I think the Columbus Blue Jackets might leave Elvis out to dry there if he gets hit early in this one. They've won their last 3. Thursday win over the Seattle Kraken, a nice big win there. And then we see the St. Louis Blues off that win versus the Ducks at home 6-2. Now, when we look at Columbus, they have to face the Flyers out there on Tuesday. They're sitting 5th in the Metro. Columbus is strong at home, but Columbus on the road is not a bet-on situation for me. They've gone 5-12-3 on the road this season. And when we look at the St. Louis Blues, 5th in the Central, 9-1 at home, they've scored at least 4 goals in 7 of their last 8 games, you guys. And again, in those last 2, they forced that goaltender to be yanked. So I'm looking for St. Louis to do what they do best, get up nice and strong in this game. I'd look at St. Louis for their team total to the over. I'd look at St. Louis for first period puck line, complete domination here of the Columbus Blue Jackets in this game to go over that total of 6.5. So that first period puck line here for the St. Louis Blues. Both teams to score is interesting at plus 172. We know Columbus can put up a bit of a fight, but I don't want to take it. I would rather take the over 1.5 at minus 126 with what the Blues have been able to do as of late. The St. Louis Blues team total, they're only giving us 1.5. It's coming in at minus 196. But we can take the St. Louis Blues to be the first team to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 105. I absolutely love that. I think they're going to come out nice and hot, score right away in that first period. Let's just see the puck line here for the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis Blues puck line laying at half a goal in the first period at plus 142. Definitely a great way to go with this matchup. I think they come out nice and strong straight out of the gate here off that win on Thursday and just put up a big fight. Now they have the Flames on deck on Tuesday, and then they have the Flames again on Thursday. I expect this one to go over, and then if you're looking for a player who's coming up against a milestone here for the St. Louis Blues, it's Jordan Kyrou. He has 19 goals of the season. Give me him for his 20th goal tonight, coming in at plus 290. So strong trends to the over. Columbus should put up their share. Should see a couple goals out of Columbus in this one. The over is 6-1 in the last 7 meetings. So the over 6.5 with some plus money. Another great way to go out there, you guys. Jet Greaves confirmed for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Yeah, you don't want to bet on Jet Greaves. That is for sure. So that's what I mean. If it was Elvis, like, you just leave Elvis out, hang him out there to dry, because the backup goaltending situation isn't good with Jet Greaves coming in. I do think, you guys, Rob, thank you for that information. You look here at the St. Louis Blues laying 1.5 at plus 138. I think it's a fantastic way to go. Their team total, let's just see the value we're getting on the St. Louis Blues team total. You got to go over 3.5 at minus 106. So you're getting better value on that puck line. I think you can hit on both of those. I think you could almost ult the team total for the St. Louis Blues. Expect them to get 5 goals in this one. So ult it to over 4.5. Let me just see what the alt puck line is, because I actually think the alt puck line laying 2.5 here for the St. Louis Blues is worth a shot if we're getting enough value. So the St. Louis Blues laying 2.5 is coming in at plus 250. I'll look at the St. Louis Blues laying the 2.5 with Jet Greaves coming in for the Columbus Blue Jackets. I definitely think it is a really solid way to go. The Columbus Blue Jackets struggle out there on the road on the best of days, and that's with Elvis and Net, such a stronger goaltender. So yeah, give me the alt puck line here for the St. Louis Blues. Let's get on to the next game, you guys. We got the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Now the Winnipeg Jets off the loss last night to the LA Kings, 2-1 loss in overtime. Hard loss for them. That was a really strong defensive battle between those two teams, and now they're going to face the Colorado Avalanche. Mackenzie Blackwood is expected in net for Colorado. He's been outstanding since joining this team, going 8-1-1 with a 1.61 goals against average and a .940 save percentage. Connor Hellebuck expected there on the other side. Now, last night, Winnipeg was celebrating Connor Hellebuck's 300th win out there, or game out there, and then Eric Crombie came into goal. The Kings did get the win, and I'm looking for the Winnipeg Jets to really come back and limit Colorado offensively. The Colorado Avalanche are so freaking strong offensively. We know that. Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, Rantanen, these players seem unstoppable out there on the ice, but the Winnipeg Jets, Defense has been absolutely outstanding as of late. They're able to lock down. Connor Hellebuck is strong in goal, and I do think with their power play, it's kind of risky to take the under for the full game. But I will look at Colorado's team total. I think the Winnipeg Jets hold them to 2 goals. Now, does that mean that the Winnipeg Jets win this? Absolutely not. We could see Colorado win this 2-1. We could see Winnipeg win this 2-1. Like, I think it's that low of a scoring game. Either team kind of coin flip here, because I love what Colorado brings to the table with Mackenzie Blackwood. I do think this has the ability to go to overtime. And I think it's a back and forth game here defensively. And those shots will come in on these goaltenders. But between the two, you've got fantastic goaltending. Now, if you're looking for scoring, I think that scoring comes from depth in this game today, because you know these players on the first and second line are going to be completely locking each other down. I think when we start looking at those third lines, that is where we'll see that scoring come, when these goaltenders get tired and think they can just, step back a step in net as we get the third liners out there. But first period, under 1.5 goals, sign me up. Game under. Let's alt this total under, you guys. So I can't see this one going over the total. So let me just find the odds on this right now. Okay, so we got a total of 5.5 plus 104 to the under. I can understand if you'd be nervous to alt this one to the under, but I really do think it is a 2-1 style game. So the under 3.5 is coming in at plus 470. You guys, I'm willing to take a shot. If you just want to take the under 4.5, because this is the total of 5.5, it's coming in at plus 285. And then also one thing you could look at is it wouldn't be out of question for the first period to start off hot, and then we see both of these goaltenders locked down. I could see a 1-0 first period. With a 1-0 first period, I do think as soon as that goal is scored, if you look at that live total to the under 4.5, at that point, you're going to get a better number. So definitely something to watch. You're going to have to be watching this game close, because that total will not, or that better value will not last long. Depth of scoring, Adam Lowry here might be interesting. He's been playing nicely out there for the Winnipeg Jets. So that is where I'd go. Blues and Reg, first period. I like where you're going with that, Rob. I think the Blues come out nice and strong in today's matchup. Okay, let's move on to the next game, you guys. We've got so many games on deck. We're at the 7 p.m. Eastern time slot. Again, we'll do the recap at the end of the show. We're going to fly through it so fast, you guys. I'm not going to build a same player prop parlay today. Just we're running out of time here. But let's look at the Vancouver Canucks. Actually, I will. You guys know I will. I want to build it. Vancouver is plus 142 on the money line, taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs at minus 172. Vancouver absolutely has been struggling. We'll see Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes out there on the ice tonight, which definitely is needed, especially Quinn Hughes. He's been so strong out there, especially getting those assists. Total of 5.5 minus 128 to the over. I'm going to take this one to the over, and I do think if Vancouver has any chance, it would be in that first period. First period money line for the Vancouver Canucks, since they're the underdog coming into this one, definitely will get you that plus money, and I will look at this one to go over 5.5. Toronto has been so strong at home, though, that I don't want to step in front of them for the full game. And then you've got Vancouver on the second night of a back-to-back, which hasn't been a strong suit, going 0-7 on the puck line in their last 7 on that second night of a back-to-back. So they've lost their last 4 last night. They got completely shut out by the Carolina Hurricanes, and that's why I like coming in on them here on that money line in the first period. Teams that were shut out in their last game normally are on complete fire in that first period, looking to right the wrongs of the last game. And then we have the Carolina Hurricanes that also beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in their last time out. So the Leafs have the rest advantage, because I believe they lost to them on Thursday, and that was a 6-3 loss. And then we saw Vancouver play the Canes last night and took the loss as well. So this is going to be interesting between them here. I just don't like Vancouver for the full game, but can see them getting up in the first. Looking at the over, these teams have trended to that over. 6 or more goals has hit in 4 of the last 7. So to 5.5, even though we have to lay juice at minus 128, I definitely think it's a strong way to go. If you're looking at goal scorers, I will look at Elias Pettersson here for the Vancouver Canucks. I would look at Quinn Hughes for that point tonight because I do think he'll get the assist. Can he get the power play point? Absolutely. I like Quinn Hughes for the power play point. When we're looking at the Leafs here, I'd look at Mitch Marner for a couple of points tonight. I think he can come out and get those points on the board. I'd also look at his power play point tonight. And Tavares to come out nice and strong. The Edmonton Oilers then will face the Chicago Blackhawks, this one kicking off at 7:09 Eastern. Edmonton, the biggest favorite on the board today at minus 410. We got plus 315 here for Chicago. Total of 6.5, minus 124 to the over. Currently on FanDuel, Connor Pickard is expected in goal tonight, not Stuart Skinner here for the Edmonton Oilers. And with Connor Pickard, you've got to think those goals will come in tonight. We know the Oilers are off that loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins, so they're looking to bounce back. This team sitting third in the Pacific. They have every ability to get up in the first period, and that's what I want to see. I want a live betting situation here. I want to see Edmonton get up in the first period, hit Sonderblom hard, and then for us to be able to come back in plus 2.5 here on the Chicago Blackhawks. We know Edmonton loves to get up and get those leads, then lock down defensively. And I do think this probably is a 1-goal game at the end of the day, but Chicago plus 1.5 at plus 122 isn't enough value. I want to see Edmonton win the first period up 2-0, and then Chicago to get that next goal. Now, if they go down 2-0, we should be able to get the Chicago Blackhawks plus 2.5 on that puck line, which takes away that empty netter situation as well. So that is where I want to go. I want to live bet this game. Scott Wetzel and myself will be live on the grid. That being said, all our attention will be on my LA Chargers tonight. So this is going to be crazy game out there, but make sure you join us on the grid. Chicago's team total isn't out of question either, depending on the number. I don't think I would hit on it. I could see this one going over just because Edmonton gets that empty netter at the end, but Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman. Here for the anytime goals, Connor McDavid. If you want to just parlay Hyman, Connor McDavid, and Draisaitl for a point tonight, you're going to get great plus money parlaying those three. Edmonton first period puck line. Let's just see the value on Edmonton in the first period on the puck line. I do think you could play around with Edmonton first period puck line if we're not getting the number that I want here. The puck line here, laying 0.5 goals, minus 110 only. That's really interesting that we're getting the puck line in the first period at minus 110. First period, over 1.5 goals, both teams to score at plus 158. The book's really thinking Chicago's going to come out and score in that first period. That's crazy, you guys, because we know Edmonton is so strong in that first period. Chicago here at home, yes, they are on their second night of a back-to-back. They're off the loss last night to the Red Wings. I don't know why it's only plus 158. I would have thought this was plus 180. So what do the books know that we don't? That's always a scary situation when you've got a dog at plus 315 against a team that can lock down on the defensive side. I'm guessing it's coming down to the goaltending matchup. So if you want to hit both teams to score, the books are basically telling me Chicago is going to score in the first period because it's normally plus 186, even between two solid defenses and great offenses. So like looking at Colorado, if we had Colorado versus Edmonton, we would have a plus 186 here. So with not as much value, tells me Chicago is going to get on the board. So if you want to look at Chicago's team total, let's just see what they're giving us. You really got to read into these lines sometimes and work out where to go. Team total of Chicago, 2.5. It's minus 146 to the under. 4.5 is your team total for the Edmonton Oilers. You're going to have to lay juice at minus 140 to the under. So they're expecting Edmonton to win this 4-2, and we could see that coming into play. The total, though, is juiced over 6.5. So interesting lines today on the board. Let's look at the next matchup here. Again, I want to live bet Chicago when Edmonton goes up 2-0 in the first period. I really think that is the way it's going to play out. The Washington Capitals taking on the Nashville Predators. Someone send out a search notice for Ovechkin. Where the hell is Ovechkin? Like, seriously, you guys, where is Ovechkin? Last night in that matchup, you guys know I took him for a goal. I took him for 2+ goals, and I took him for the hat trick. I was screaming at my freaking TV. Ovechkin had one shot on goal last night. Not even a goal. One shot on goal. versus Montreal. He should have been able to get at least the shots on goal. Yes, if he comes against a hot goaltender, that is one thing. But for Ovechkin to only get one shot on goal last night, I was absolutely furious. Now, do we go back in on Ovechkin? I don't know if I can, you guys. And if he gets a hat trick tonight, then yeah, I've lost that bet that I thought would have happened last night. But you look at the Washington Capitals versus the Predators in Nashville, they've only won 3 of the last 11 meetings. I can't bet on OV tonight. So anyone that has faith, you guys know when I'm looking at a player to come out hot, I love to go back-to-back nights so you don't miss out on what you were thinking just a day too early. I just can't get on him here versus the Predators. Saros expected tonight. We know the Predators have given up those goals. This could be a high scoring, but I'm looking for the Predators to come out nice and strong in that first period. Give me the Predators on the money line. They're the favorite as well here versus the Washington Capitals. Minus 142. The juice is ticking up so much in this. Plus 118. It makes me want to bite on the Caps, but I just can't get there. Look for Forsberg. Look for Ryan O'Reilly. Look for Roman Josi. Look for Jonathan Marchessault, Steven Stamkos to all come out hot tonight for the Nashville Predators, with the books making them minus 142 favorite. Now, the money is coming in. This is the first game home of 2025 as well. They were on that long extended road trip that started right after the holidays. They had 6 games out there on the road. They went 4-2. We know this team has struggled on the road. They're stronger at home. Look for them to get a nice positive win to start 2025 at home. The problem is at minus 142, do you really want to have faith in the Predators versus the Capitals team that is sitting first in the Metro, 13-6-1 out there on the road? I don't. If the Capitals manage to go up first, I will be coming back in on the Nashville Predators with that plus money. You could also look at the first period puck line here for the Nashville Predators to win that first period, though, because they have won their last 9 first periods at home. So if you want to just jump on that side of things, I absolutely do not blame you. Let's look at the Isles, you guys. So I caught a shutout between the Isles and Vegas, and guess who I thought would get the shutout? Adin Hill, not Sorokin. The Isles went into the Fortress winning that 4-0. I could not believe Sorokin got the shutout. Now, that's his 20th career shutout, playing absolutely fantastic out there. And now he takes on a Utah Hockey Club that struggled to score. You got to look for the Isles to lock down on Utah in this matchup. So we're going to look at Utah's team total, but first, let me just give you the odds in this game. This is a pick of minus 110 either way. We got a total of 5.5, plus 106 to the under, minus 130 to the over. I would look here at being cautious with that full game total because I think the Isles have proven they can score. Connor Ingram in net tonight for Utah. I do think the Isles could put us in jeopardy of this game going over. So I will take the Utah Hockey Club's team total under 2.5. The Utah Hockey Club's team total under 2.5. Let me just pull this up. Another line I could not get earlier. It's plus 128. Yes, they have playmakers out there on the ice. Yes, the last time these two teams matched up, complete a pond hockey back in October, 5-4 win there for the Utah Hockey Club. This team has struggled at home, though, you guys. It's not a team I can trust at home. They are sitting 6th in the Central, 6-8-4 at home. And yes, Islanders haven't been great out there on the road, but they're coming off that win versus Vegas. That was on Thursday, and I think they bring that defensive momentum, Sorokin's confidence into this game. This is their last game of 3 out there on the road. They will face the Senators at home on Tuesday. You could just look at the under 5.5. I do think it cashes, but I'd rather Utah's team total under 5.5. 3 games left, you guys, and then we're in the home run for doing the recap and building that parlay. So we got to look at the LA Kings. The LA Kings are rolling hot. They'll take on the Calgary Flames. Now, these teams were supposed to play a couple nights ago. We know that got postponed. And now this is a straight pick 'em in Calgary. The Kings have struggled in Calgary, you guys. I have been to these games, and it's mind-blowing what Calgary is able to do at home versus the LA Kings. This total sitting at 5.5. Now, I do think my mom is in the building tonight. Have to double confirm if she will be at this game. But Dan Vladar in net for Calgary. He's got to stand freaking tall between the pipes. I was hoping for Dustin Wolf. Now, we don't have confirmation on that. I love Calgary even more if it is Dustin Wolf. You look at the Kings, they have won their last 5. Overtime win last night versus the Jets, 2-1. Calgary is rolling here off a win versus the Anaheim Ducks in overtime, 3-2. They beat the Kings in the last meeting in November, 3-1. And the Kings haven't won the last 5 coming into Calgary. The home team has won the last 9 games between these two. And I really do think Calgary has every ability to get this win tonight as long as they play their best defense in front of Dan Vladar that they can. Now, Konazari out of this lineup indefinitely with injury. Huberdeau has been so strong for Calgary, especially out there on the road. At home tonight, I do expect him to be able to come against David Rittich and be able to put those shots against him. Could he find the back of the net? He absolutely could. Michael Backlund here for the anytime goal. Now, the problem here is I'm liking this game to be a lower scoring overtime game. I will take this one to go to overtime, you guys. And let's just look here what the books are giving us for overtime. I'm hoping it is over plus 300, but I have a feeling the books are going to have this on. Yeah, it's plus 290 for the overtime bet here. I will still hit on it. Still plus 290. I think it's a tight battle between these two. So favorite bet is that overtime bet at plus 290. And then it's Calgary on the money line. Gotta love a home dog here. And then I will look at Backlund for the anytime goal. I will parlay Kempe and Kopitar for their point again tonight. You know that is a go-to for the LA Kings, and I just can't seem to get off on it. Wolf is confirmed. I love hearing that, Rob. With Wolf confirmed, Calgary all day in this one. Dustin Wolf has been so strong between the pipes here for the Calgary Flames, especially at home. It brings another level of confidence for this team, and especially when the LA Kings haven't won any of the last 5 meetings here in Calgary. You've got to look at Calgary to roll so incredibly hot. So glad to see that confirmation has come in the last hour here. Now let's look at the Minnesota Wild versus the San Jose Sharks. The Minnesota Wild are a $2 favorite here at minus 200, plus 164 for the Sharks in a total of 5.5. Minus 130 to the over 5.5. The Wild have just rolled into San Jose and played incredibly strong. They got the last win back in November, 5-2. This is a Sharks team that's lost their last 2 games, second night of a back-to-back. They lost last night to Utah, 2-1, and they got the Red Wings on Tuesday. Backup goaltender coming in. Gustafsson expected here for the Minnesota Wild. If you guys are seeing something different, let me know. This is a team that's going to be upset off that loss versus the Colorado Avalanche at home on Thursday. Yes, they've had these inconsistencies. They've had injuries to their team, but now they're facing the San Jose Sharks. I just can't see them losing this one unless they're clearly looking ahead to the Vegas Golden Knights. Off the loss to the Colorado Avalanche, though, if they'd beaten the Colorado Avalanche with Vegas on deck tomorrow, I might look at the Sharks to pull off the upset here at home. But the Sharks on the second night of a back-to-back with the Wild off a loss and Vegas on deck, they know they have to dig deep in this game. They can't let this one go. So I am looking for the Wild to come out strong. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings in San Jose. I'm going to look at the Sharks team total to the under. With Gustafsson in goal, we know we're going to get that lockdown on defense of the Wild. So let me just find this team total. The Sharks team total is 2.5, minus 124 to the under. That's a done deal. I'm going to take the Sharks under 2.5 at minus 124. I see that lockdown coming. The Wild could win this 2-1, you guys, because they like to get up and they completely lock down. They could win it 2-1, 2-0 in this one. I just don't trust them on that puck line because of their way they lock down defensively. And they know they're going to have to get that defensive form right tonight with going into Vegas tomorrow. So strong trends to the over. I'm not touching it. I just want to take the Sharks team total over 2.5 or under. That was a slip, man. Watch them go over now. That was under 2.5. The New York Rangers and the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm keeping this simple, you guys. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple when you're betting. Let's look at Vegas here on the puck line. Minus 1.5 for Vegas is plus 146. Sign me up. It's the New York Rangers. This team has been absolutely struggling, and they struggle versus Vegas. They've only won 3 of the last 11 meetings versus the Vegas Golden Knights. And I think Vegas, off that loss to the Isles, Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, they're coming into this one completely on fire after being shut out. I can't see them losing 2 in a row here. I do think they take out their frustration on the New York Rangers and win this big. I would lay the 1.5 on the puck line here for the Vegas Golden Knights. Laying 1.5 on the puck line is coming in at plus 146. I won't touch the total because I could see Vegas winning this 5-2, pushing us over or 4-2, keeping us under that total. But either way, covering that puck line. Samsonov expected tonight. Igor Shesterkin expected here for the New York Rangers. And yes, the Rangers are off that win in overtime versus Devils on Thursday. They're at the Avs on Tuesday, and this is the first game of 3 out there on the road. I don't see the Rangers getting it done. So those are all of the games, you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here with me on the daily. We're going to go back through and recap the best bets as best as I can. I know there's going to be some that I missed because we had to look at lines live in the show because everything wasn't posted on FanDuel before we kicked off. But it should be a great day out there on the ice. Make sure you drop in the comments who you are liking tonight, what players you're going to parlay for those points, which players you're looking at for the goals. Everyone loves to hear it in the chat. And I know you guys have been cashing together, dropping some of those plays. So let's get it done today, you guys. I just need 1 sip of coffee. It's only almost 11 my time. So I know it's 1 Eastern almost, but it's still coffee time. Actually, it's always coffee time at my house. You guys know that. Okay, we're kicking it off with the Boston Bruins versus the Florida Panthers for the recap. I'm going to take Florida's team total over 3.5. It's coming in at plus 114. I don't trust Swayman in net here for the Boston Bruins or the Bruins who have lost their last 6. They allowed the Tampa Bay Lightning to put up 4 goals. Give me the Florida Panthers to be able to do the same. The Ottawa Senators versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. I do think the Penguins can put up the goals here on the Ottawa Senators, and I think this is a team that can get up first in that first period. Give me the Penguins in the first period. On the puck line, there is a possibility of both teams scoring in the first period, so if you want the plus money there, I don't blame you, but I think the Pens can get up first. The Senators have struggled versus Pittsburgh, only winning 5 of the last 22 meetings in Pittsburgh. So this is not a strong suit for them. They did win back in December 3-2, but I'm looking for the Pengs to come out hot to start this game. The Seattle Kraken. Why do I want to say Seahawks Day? The Seattle Kraken taking on the Buffalo Sabres. I am looking for the Kraken to come out nice and strong versus Buffalo. I want to get the best of the number. We've seen the Buffalo Sabres really strong in that first period at home as a favorite, and I do think they could win that first period. And then if we see them go up, even by the goal, this is where I want to live bet this one. I want to see Buffalo get the first goal. Ty Thompson, Alex Tuch, one of those players to come out, get a goal quick on Joey Daccord. And then for Jared McCann and the Seattle Kraken to fight their way back. At that point, I want the Seattle Kraken when they're down at like plus 150 on the money line. They have won 5 of the last 6 meetings versus the Buffalo Sabres, and I do think with the road ice advantage we've seen between these two, they have every ability to fight back. Strong trends to the over between these two teams. I don't know if I absolutely love the over just because Seattle has struggled to score. I could see them winning this in a 3-2 battle, keeping us under that total. The Dallas Stars and the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal has been a deadly dog as of late. That puck line plus 1.5 for the Montreal Canadiens at minus 144. I think if you like Montreal, you guys threw out Cole Caulfield for the first goal with that great plus money. I love it. This team has been able to cover the puck line in their last 10, 7 times and as a dog. And we've seen the Dallas Stars struggling to cover that puck line. The Stars have played strong in Montreal though. So I hope Dallas goes up first and then I can come back in with more value on the Montreal Canadiens because they keep fighting. But I'm going to put a half a unit on the Montreal Canadiens to start this game because we might not ever get Montreal at a better value on that puck line because I do think they have every ability to win this game. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the New Jersey Devils. I do think Tampa can roll into New Jersey and get this win. They've been able to do so in the last 5 meetings. I don't trust Jacob Markstrom here versus Tampa, and I trust Andre Vasilevsky versus the New Jersey Devils. So Tampa to get the win with that great plus money is where I'll go. The Anaheim Ducks and the Philadelphia Flyers. I think the Ducks are quacking. Give me the Ducks plus 1.5. On the puck line, if the Flyers go up, but going into this game, I'll take the Ducks straight up here on the money line for half a unit. Now, Gutter Gauthier here for the anytime goal versus his former team. I definitely think is a strong way to go. I can't lay the juice on the Flyers. I'm playing the best of the number with the Ducks. The Columbus Blue Jackets and the St. Louis Blues, we have got confirmation. Jack Greaves getting the start here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Binghamton expected for the Blues. Give me the Blues laying the old puck line. I'll lay 2.5 with this team. This team has proven they can get goalies yanked at any moment in those last 2 games, being able to do so. They've been getting off to hot starts. First period puck line here for the St. Louis Blues is in play as well. I think they win this in, a 4-1, 5-2 style game. So they cover the old puck line in this one. Jordan Kyrou, I absolutely love for the anytime goal tonight for the St. Louis Blues. He has 19 on the season, so this would be number 20. The Colorado Avalanche and the Winnipeg Jets. This one is ballsy, risky to take the Colorado Avalanche's team total under 2.5. Plus 140. I think the Winnipeg Jets with Connor Hellebuck in goal absolutely locked down. That being said, we could still see Colorado win this 2-1. I think this is an overtime game all day at plus 290 for the overtime bet. Low scoring, ulting it under 5.5 to 4.5. I love ulting it under 4.5 to 3.5. I absolutely love as well. I just don't see more than 3 goals in this matchup, unless we're 2-2 going into OT. The Vancouver Canucks versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Give me the Vancouver Canucks on the money line in the first period. But I do think at the end of the day, Toronto has every ability to win. Too juicy right now. Vancouver goes up. I'll be coming back in on Montreal at the better price. So we're able to get, you could look at, not Montreal, at Toronto. You could look here at the money line or the regulation bet here for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't hate it. I lean to this one going over that total of 5.5. I think Quinn Hughes is able to get an assist today for Vancouver. Elias Pettersson, the goal for Vancouver as well. And then Mitch Marner for a couple of points tonight. I could see a goal and an assist out of Mitch Marner and a Tavares for the anytime goal as well for Toronto. The Edmonton Oilers versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Again, iffy lines here with only plus 158 on both teams to score in the first period. They're expecting Chicago to come out strong on Connor Pickard in net tonight for Edmonton. Edmonton, a $4 favorite, though. I lean to wanting to live bet Chicago. I think what we're going to see is Edmonton go up 2-0 in the first period, and then Chicago to fight their way back and make it a tighter game. So I want Chicago either plus 2.5 or plus 1.5 at more value at plus 122. It's not enough value for me to jump on Chicago. Give me the Edmonton Oilers in the first period on the puck line. I think it's a really solid way to go. I think they get up straight away, hit Sonderblom in this one. And this game probably goes to that over if Edmonton brings it like I expect. The Washington Capitals versus the Nashville Predators. First period money line here for the Predators. I will hit on. I expect a strong start out of them. Again, send out the search warrants for Ovechkin. Not sure where he's at. If he gets a hat trick tonight, so be it. I was a day too early, but I won't be throwing my money back on him after he was held to only 1 shot on goal versus Montreal. And while Nashville's defense does allow those shots to come in on Saros, I just can't put my money on him when the Washington Capitals have played so bad in Nashville, only winning 3 of the last 11. So I can't hit on Ovi. I don't blame you if you do. Look for Forsberg, Ryan O'Reilly, Yossi, and Marchessault and Stamkos to come out strong for the Preds. The New York Islanders versus the Utah Hockey Club. I do think Sorokin, he got his 20th shutout versus Vegas. Look for the Isles to lock down Utah. Utah's team total under 2.5. I will be hitting on. You got to lay juice at minus 124. I'm cautious with the full game total to the under because we know the Isles did get 4 goals in their last game. And if we see a 4-2 style game, this will go over that total of 5.5. The LA Kings versus the Calgary Flames. LA has absolutely fallen on their face in Calgary. They've lost their last 5 here. Dustin Will, thank you guys for confirming he will be in net for the Calgary Flames. I am looking for the Flames for a home dog price here. I'm looking for Calgary to win this 2-1, 3-2 style game. Give me Kempe and Kopitar here for the point tonight. Parlay together for the LA Kings, and Huberdeau and Backlund here for their points or goals tonight. You could just put them for the points together. Connor Zary out of this lineup. Home ice has been huge between these two, the home team winning the last 9. The Minnesota Wild versus the San Jose Sharks. Give me the Sharks team total to the under. Look for the Wild to get up in this game and absolutely lock down. They're coming off the loss to the Colorado Avalanche. And yes, first night of a back-to-back with Vegas on deck, but off the loss, they know they need this win tonight here. They've also played the Sharks really strong, and the Sharks will be on their second night of a back-to-back. The New York Rangers taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Keep it simple. Vegas puck line -1.5. Vegas first period puck line I like as well. I just can't trust the Rangers here, who have only won 3 of the last 11 meetings. 3 of the last 11 versus Vegas. So I can't get there. Good morning to you too. You guys, I really appreciate you joining me here today on Puck It with Jo on SportsGrid TV. Let's build a long shot player point parlay. Now, you guys know I love Kyrou for the anytime goal, so I will put him in here for the point tonight between the St. Louis Blues and the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Edmonton Oilers, I will look at the points for them coming in. You can't even look at Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. It's like 7-8 to 1. Hyman, though, I like. He's coming in at -188 for the anytime point. And really interesting here, Bertuzzi was held off in the last one. I'm going to go back in on Bertuzzi for the point tonight. He's getting plus money for that point. You guys mentioned Montreal and you mentioned Cole Caulfield, and we cannot deny what Cole Caulfield is doing out there on the ice. He's 156 for a point, so I will look at him. I'm going to stay off of Ovechkin because I'm mad at him. I won't be shocked if he gets the anytime goal tonight. If he gets 2 goals, if he gets a hat trick, I won't be shocked. But I'm going to look at Yossi here for the Predators to come out nice and strong. I'm going to stay off the Isles game. Going to stay off. Actually, no, we're going to look at the Vegas game because we want to take points here for Mark Stone. Jack Eichel, Mark Stone are your playmakers. I would look in Shea Theodore for Vegas as well, but I'll throw Mark Stone into that one. Calgary, I'm going to stay off Calgary and the Kings. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I've got everything I want to bet here. Vancouver, we've got 7 legs. Let's look at someone from Tampa. Kucherov, Brandon Hagel. We got to look at Braden Point for a point tonight for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Colorado and Winnipeg, I expect that lockdown. Jared McCann, I'm going to stay off that one too. Let's just do an 8-legger. It's coming in at plus 14,109 for the 8-leg point parlay, you guys. So let's get to these 8 legs. Cutter Gauthier for the anytime goal. Cutter Gauthier for the anytime goal and Jordan Kyrou for the anytime goal. My favorite prop bets of the day. Like, those are my absolute favorite. We're not going to put them for the goal in this. So it is a 7-legger. Let me just make sure I don't have anyone else jumping in there that shouldn't be in there. No, 7-leg parlay plus 24.37. So 7-leg parlay plus 24.37. Zach Hyman for the point for Edmonton. Tyler Bertuzzi for the point for the Chicago Blackhawks. If you just want to parlay those 2 together, that's coming in at plus 221. Robert Thomas for the point for the St. Louis Blues. Again, remember, anytime goal for Robert Thomas because he's got 19. I think he gets number 20 here versus Columbus. Cole Caulfield for the point for the Montreal Canadiens. Again, I think he gets a goal tonight, you guys. Roman Josi for the point for the Nashville Predators. Mark Stone for the point tonight for the Vegas Golden Knights. And Braden Point for the point tonight for the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the New Jersey Devils. Again, 7 legs plus 24.37. One more time, that's Zach Hyman, Tyler Bertuzzi, Robert Thomas, Cole Caulfield, Roman Yossi, Mark Stone, and Braden Point. My favorite goal scorers, one more time, Robert Thomas and Cutter Gauthier there, and Cole Caulfield. You got to include Cole Caulfield too for the anytime goals. So those are my 3 favorite anytime goal scorers. That is the 7 player point long shot. Like, it's a huge long shot parlay out there on the ice. If you want to go back to Ovi, I don't blame you. But you guys, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that retweet button, and join me back here tomorrow at noon Eastern on X on SportsGrid TV. You guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, drop those parlays, drop what you're liking. Have a great day. And join me on the grid at 4 o'clock Eastern for my Chargers game. Bolt up, you guys. I'm stressed. I got my Buckeyes for the win last night, and now I'm stressing so much about my Chargers. So keep your fingers crossed, you guys.